I'm Pamela Bridgeman Bartell. I'm a clinical social worker, an ordained minister, and importantly, I'm a fellow traveler on a journey to wholeness. This podcast is growing out of years of listening, both professionally and personally, to the ways that God meets us in our healing. Welcome to Sacred Pathways to Wholeness. This is a space for the weary, for those standing at crossroads, for those longing for rest, clarity, and renewal. Scripture tells us that God gives us a word that sustains the weary. This promise is at the heart of this podcast. Here, we slow down, we listen, and we walk the ancient paths that lead toward healing and wholeness. Wherever you are right now, you are welcome here. If you're listening today, I want you to know something first. You didn't arrive here by accident. Whether you found this podcast out of curiosity, weariness, hope, or quiet longing, I believe God meets us precisely where we are, and often at the crossroads we didn't expect. This podcast was born from a simple but sacred calling to offer words that sustain the weary and to point us back to the ancient paths where rest is found. Scripture tells us that the Lord gives us a word that sustains the weary. That verse has stayed with me for years, not as a slogan, but as a responsibility. Words matter. They shape how we heal, how we endure, and how we come home to ourselves and to God. Sacred Pathways to Wholeness is a place where scripture, soul care, and lived experience meet. It's not about a quick fix or spiritual platitudes. It's about slowing down long enough to listen, really listen to what God may be saying beneath the noise of our lives. Another passage that has guided this vision just as deeply, the invitation to stand at the crossroads, to look, to ask for the ancient paths, and to walk in the good way, the way that leads to rest for our souls. That invitation feels especially important in our time. We live in a culture that rushes us forward, urging us to keep producing, striving, proving. But healing, true wholeness, rarely happens at full speed. It happens when we pause, when we reflect, when we choose wisdom that is endured rather than novelty that fades. Today's launch is also personally meaningful for me. This Saturday, January 24th, 2026, I turned 70 years old. That number still feels surprising to say out loud. And yet, I stand here with gratitude for the years I've lived, the lessons I've learned, and the healing I'm still receiving. Age has taught me this: wholeness is not something we achieve once and for all, it is something we walk toward again and again, sometimes with confidence, sometimes with trembling, always with grace. This podcast is not about having all the answers, it's about making space for honest questions. It's about acknowledging grief and joy, faith and doubt, strength and vulnerability, often all at the same time. In the episodes ahead, we'll explore themes of emotional healing, spiritual formation, relationships, identity, grief, resilience, and hope. We'll draw from scripture, from therapeutic wisdom, and from the lived experiences that shape us. Sometimes the tone will be reflective, sometimes practical, sometimes it is quietly challenged, always compassionate. My hope is that when you listen, you feel accompanied. Somebody's with you, that you sense permission to breathe. You only need a willing heart and openness to walk, even slowly, toward wholeness. As we begin this journey together, I want to offer a blessing for this season, both for this podcast and for you. May you be sustained when you are weary. May you be guided when the path feels unclear. May you find courage at the crossroads of your life. And may you discover that the ancient paths are not restrictive, but spacious, wide enough to hold your story. Thank you for being here for the beginning. Thank you for walking with me. And thank you for allowing this sacred space to become a part of your journey. Welcome to Sacred Pathways to Wholeness. If this episode met you where you are, I invite you to like, share, and subscribe, especially if you know someone who might need a moment of rest or encouragement today or in the future. It helps the space reach others who may be standing at a crossroad. As we close, take a moment to notice your breath. Notice what is stirred, what is settled, and what you may be carrying with you. Breathe. May you be sustained when you're weary. May you be guided when the way feels unclear. And may you find rest as you walk God's sacred pathway to wholeness. Thank you so much for being here.